take it off. I
Okay.
just broke it.
Mm.
I didn't really break
Uh,
it. It was already broken. It just
okay. Well,
fine.
welcome everybody. We are here on the 18th of December 2014, and so many amazing things have happened this year. It's just not even funny. And my dear, dear, dear friend Michaela is here with me as well, and we are wrapping things up. Hi, Michaela.
Aloha.
So I hear you
Everyone's
are
having a most.
Say again?
I said I hope everyone's having a most blessed holiday season.
Yes, no kidding. It seems so strange that it is already the end of the year. I don't know
Yeah,
about
a
you.
lot of people said that. It just goes by so fast.
Yes, it seems like it has snuck up on me in so many different ways. Uh, Thanks, guys, for being so patient while we get all of the technical stuff behind the scenes done. So thank you all. Oh, what
Oh,
a yes, craziness, craziness, and all of it's good. And so much shift and change going on, and remembering to take time to breathe. And Michaela, you have been such a great reminder about listening to the urge to take care of ourselves, even if that means going to bed a little earlier than usual, or changing our diet slightly to support the added changes that are going on. And for all of you guys that are going through these changes, just keep moving through it, because it does bring the desired changes. So
yeah, we tend to forget about that this time of year because we're trying to wrap so many things up and get ready. A lot of people are going on holiday vacations, and it's very easy to have accidents or get sick during this time. So it's especially important to be mindful.
mhm.
Just this week, a friend of mine fell down. She was feeling great last week. I even saw her at a Christmas party, and on Monday she fell down the stairs and broke four vertebrae.
Oh,
Another friend just was very stressed out and so worried about everything that, um, well, I guess what I want to say is, I don't want to give a whole lot of of thoughts about stuff because we could easily talk about all the bad things that are happening. But the thing is, bad and good are both good. Bad and good are just labels that we put on it. And as we look at this, how this year is, when we stop and relax and breathe and say, yes, we have the time to do all these things, and yes, maybe you might have a point and somebody else might have a point, and maybe they're worth listening to. I don't know.
yes. And that's really fascinating, because I just, right before we started this hangout, I had the second to the last session with one of my clients, and we wrapped up so much. And to see how far she's come
Hmm.
this year was astounding. And to hear her say that she's made more progress in the last 2 days with me than she has made up to this point in her entire life. Whoa, wow, how honoring is
Congratulations.
that?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And so, the stories of the good and bad, as you so wonderfully put, yes, they are labels. And as we sat down and looked at all of it, it's like, oh my gosh, look at how far you've come. Remember when you were stuck in this particular swamp and you thought you'd never get out and everything was so crappy? It was a means to the end. Now look at where you're at. Imagine what's going to happen at the end of 2015 when you look back, if
Hmm.
you continue to implement these little changes. And it's really, really amazing. And that's what drives me. That's what makes this And this one especially so exciting to me because, Michaela, you and I have had a year full of classes that we have presented for free for people. And the amount of growth that we're hearing back from people from the very various series that we've done the 10 limiting mindsets, we've done the creativity, the 10 precepts of creativity, we've done the chakra basics. And in between all of those, we've done other little tweaks and wrap-ups and insights and sharing. And I know that I personally have taken everything, and I say everything, I mean everything, in my life to a whole nother level. And we're seeing that, I'm seeing that in the people that are making comments. And I think that you have been too, because you've been sharing the comments that you're getting from people who have been catching our hangouts. Is that, am I?
Absolutely. There's one thing that has come up that has that kind of caught me by surprise with a client this week, and I want to share this story because it has a lot to do with what we have shared this whole year and what we've attempted to bring into resolution for ourselves as well as our audience. And the thing is that this person was going on and on about there was a lot of gossip and negativity mixed in the conversation that should have been about setting up a business and getting things moving forward. And just the fact that we had specifically decided to talk about business rather than spiritual matters, the energy was completely different. She was very, she wanted to hear nothing about any of the spiritual things at all. And she got very angry and told me I didn't get it, and that there was a lot of harshness there. And it brought me back to the thing that was said was, if we're doing spiritual stuff, we do spiritual stuff. If we do business stuff, we do business stuff. And are trying to bring here, and I think this, and Jennifer, tell me, I hope you agree because we haven't talked about this, but I have come to a point in my life where the realization is there is no separation.
Correct.
We use our spiritual training to have the tools so that we can implement and move forward and have successful businesses.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Because the one thing, no matter where you go or what you do, that's always there is you.
Yes.
And if you keep running into the underlying thoughts of I'm not good enough, or this isn't going to work, or why do I keep trying, guess what? No matter how you show up in the world, no matter whether you are a customer service representative in a call center or if you're a CEO of a major corporation, if you don't do your own work, there will be a limit to where you can go out in the world. And you and I know that without any hesitation because they are one and the same. You are what you take with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And you can't separate it. You can try. Excuse me, I don't mean to be so harsh and black and white, but you can try to separate it, but there will come a point where you hit a wall that you can't move through.
And that can take years. That can go on for years.
Yes,
it's like having a recurring dream for over 20 years. The one thing is we're looking back on 2014 and what we've brought to the table and what we've brought up for our audience has been about self-development, about clearing our own blocks and stop beating ourselves up. One thing that we didn't touch on, which I think might be a good thing for us to move forward with in the upcoming year, it's 15. Is the dangers of playing the blame game. We touched on it very, very lightly, but most of it was we're blaming ourselves. You know, it's our fault. You know, why can't I do this? I'm bad. I'm whatever. But for the obstacles that we have, that gets us into really big trouble too, because we're not taking it's the accountability. We really need to look, and I think a lot of that is what this hour is about. At the end now is looking at our accountability. You know, where we've come and what we expect for the next year.
Yes, and oh, this is hilarious, you guys. She and I have not spoken. Okay, Michaela and I have not talked. And this realization just hit me when this was at about 11:35 when I realized, oh, I get to launch it today on our Hangout. The culmination of this year is about opening a top-level mentoring group where I've realized I have space for 5 people and that's it, to be able to take a 6-month journey with me. And it is something that I have tossed around over in the years, and I've said, no, 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 nobody really wants to do that. Playing small, not owning my own stuff. This last year with you and with our audience has expanded my understanding of, one, how critical the work is that you and I do, that there are people starving to death for this information, and that they need to remember that someone is willing to walk the path with them and to go into the darkest, deepest, blackest closets that they've got and not be shaken. And that's what I've seen as we wrap up this year, looking back going, oh my gosh. As I'm getting the reports back from my clients, they're all saying the same thing. I finally felt safe to go look at my truth and decide whether I wanted to keep it or not. And it may seem like no big deal, but that is unbelievably huge. When you have a light and you walk through a room and you know whatever is in there isn't going to scare you, you may not like it, it may be really yucky, but it's not going to surprise you, it's not going to knock you to your knees, it's not going to undermine your progress. That's huge. It's freeing. And you and I have been working on that for our audience all year in one form or another. And I am unbelievably honored to have been invited to take this journey with you. So thank you, Michaela.
Me too. Me too. Ever since we started at top of the hour today, the phrase keeps coming up, all is good, all is good. And I've probably told you this story before, but it's a very strong image right now that I'd like to share. Back in '03, when the United States invaded Iraq, many of the Americans were so angry. We were so angry because we just couldn't understand it at all. And I went that year to see the Dalai Lama. And somebody asked that question in the audience, what do you think of America's invasion of Iraq? And you could feel the tension in the 20,000 people that were there. It was very intense, and they were waiting to hear him, you know, blame the government and we're waiting for this righteousness to come out of this great leader.
Did they forget where they were?
He started laughing, and he said, well, you know, what has happened has happened, and we are here now, and we have to trust that when we move forward, we do move back too. And we need to trust that we are going to continue to move forward no matter what the illusion is. And there's a lot of illusion in this world. We are all in a collective delusion. So I want to say to many of my friends around the world that all is good. You know, it's been especially bad. There were children killed in a school on a terrorist attack in Pakistan earlier in the week. And I have a friend over there, and she's been leaving me notes on my wall, and it's very heartbreaking. And then it reminds me of all the terrorist attacks we've had on our own schools right here on our own turf. not to mention the wars going on and the mental health issues and everything else that's going on in the world. We need to stop buying into all that mud, because mud is the same all over the world.
Yes.
And even if we're in peace, we're looking for mud.
Isn't that amazing? Yes. Yes, and
So
it's getting to the point, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject, but it's getting to that point where we can be okay with things
it's
being
fine.
okay.
We're used to it. We get excited about what we're talking about. Yeah. But you know, just the bottom line of all that is that with all these wonderful things happening, there's no point in highlighting all that badness and all the things that that person did to me yesterday or last week or 10 years ago or whatever. Think of all the wonderful things that people have done for us.
Mm-hmm.
And very rarely can we remember that, because we're hardwired to look for the fear and look for the danger. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a hardwired human thing.
Yes. Yeah. And you brought up a really good point, how all we seem to focus on is the negative, and yet the messages that we get from, and I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to make a judgment call, and you guys can all burn me at the stake if you want to, it's whatever. We tend to look to the spiritual leaders, be they the Dalai Lama, be they the Pope, be they a holy roller on televised whatever. And I don't mean any disrespect. Everybody has a different way of presenting their message. And when all that is being focused on is remember the good, focus on the good, and be grand and glorious, and don't listen to the bad, it denies our feelings that, you know what, I got stepped on. I was hurt then. And now you want me to just forget it? I can't forget it. And it's true, you can't. Your body still holds on to that. So that is what you and I, Michaela, have been working on this year, is giving people tools to be able to acknowledge our pain. It's not about stuffing it. It's not about trying to transmute it. It's not about trying to cut it out and do away with it. It's about bringing everything into a balance. And most of the time, it is simply acknowledging, that really sucked. That I thought I was going to lose everything. That I was scared to death, and I don't want that to happen again. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Use these tools and work through it. Don't get stuck there. Acknowledge it. See it. Find the jewel for yourself that is there. If you have difficulty finding it, reach out. There are lots of people. Michaela, you and I both take on personal clients that we help do these kind of things. Finding the good in everything that happens. And it's not dismissing the pain. It's not trying to make it go away. It's not about trying to cut it out, and I don't know why that keeps coming up, but it's a disavowing, a distancing ourselves from basic human nature, which is exceedingly dangerous. You can't do that. It's learning how to integrate it all and being a whole person, that you can trust yourself in every situation that you go into. So I'm not sure where that was coming from. I know that for me, tapping and writing both help me process through those negative hurts, those things that could, unless I deal with them, could be stopping points for me. And I can't entertain that anymore.
Go on.
Hi.
Sorry, I hope he wasn't. He was agreeing with you.
Oh, cool. I love it when the animal world agrees with me, too. It's actually very humbling.
It's probably not very responsible of me to have a parrot on my shoulder during this.
Why?
Why don't you? Go ahead. There he goes.
I think it's a perfect example of how you are you. And you're multifaceted. Not only are you an incredibly spiritual person, but you're also an amazing businesswoman. And you have this other part of you that connects with nature at a deep level. Why would that not be professional? I think that is amazing that you can bring them all into one. And that, Michaela, my love, is what we're all being called to do, is to bring and integrate all of us together. So I really hope that your client is able to see that wall that she has created for herself and is able to release at least part of it so that they can still sort of start to intermingle and her life will be so much easier.
Mm.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is just relaxing and being present and realizing that make you can't make everybody happy. You can't satisfy everybody. There would be many, many people that are advocates for parrot welfare or animal welfare that would have gone crazy about that because it would have encouraged more buying of parrots. I'm not going to get into all that because there are so many issues within the animal welfare realm, and it happens everywhere. Whatever it is. So we just need to accept the good with the bad and say, okay, this is where I'm at, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yes, and cutting ourselves slack. And by that, I don't mean allowing ourselves excuses for not doing things we know we should. But it's about being able to say, oh, shit, I did it again. I fell down, I skinned my knee, I darn near ruined one of my favorite dresses. Okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to brush myself off. It's like, oh, I should have done. And no, you know what? I did what I did in that moment. I did the best that I could with what I had. And now I know that there's a pothole right there, and I'm going to try my best to avoid it. But if I hit again, then I'll pick myself up, and I'll know how to bandage my knees a little bit better next time. Does it mean that I'm a failure? Mm-mm.
No, just keep practicing. Just keep practicing.
Yeah, and I think if there is ever a message that culminates a year's worth of classes, of teachings, of realizations, it's about really honoring self and truly working to get to that place of trusting self again and being able to turn our heart back into the amazing thing that it is, and starting with ourselves. Being able to love ourselves for all that we bring. We are amazing creatures, each and every single solitary one of us. And we hold so much judgment and so much loathing for ourselves that it's astounding. And it's hard to move forward when your heart is shut down toward yourself. And that has been brought up time and time again in our series about, going within and learning to trust within and keep making forward movements. Even if it's simply standing up and saying, you know what, I'm here again today. I don't know if I'll take a step forward, but damn it, I showed up again.
And that's perfect because I want to throw some congratulations and thanks out to our audience for watching us this year. We have had some regular viewers and a lot of great feedback, and just the fact that you can show up and remind yourself, oh yeah, okay, it is okay, and I don't have to be beating myself up, and there are tools that can help me see this stuff. So I want to say thanks and congratulations to all of you. The other part of that is that I'm standing here with you, Jennifer. We're hanging out here on this chat, and I'm just totally blown away at how the 3 sessions that we did, they wove together so beautifully, and none of that was planned. I have watched a couple of different people's webinars this. I mean, this is really just a hangout. This is just we're just chatting. We're having fun. We're talking about the year. We're kind of musing, but there are a lot of other people out there that are doing very strong webinars. You know, like they have all these lists of what were your wins for the year and what are your plans for next year, and it's all very tied up very strongly with like a workbook kind of thing. I think it's great that we're just hanging out here and musing and looking at how these things worked. It's not just about the accomplishments this year, but what I'd like to ask everybody to look at is what kind of things came into your life? What kind of things came in unexpectedly that moved you to action or moved you to blossom, to change, to look at things with a little bit more awareness? Maybe you were working really, really hard about this and you realized, hey, you know, I really need some money this week, and then suddenly you get a windfall from some lost cousin who died who left some money to you in a will. That actually did happen to me this past month.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, things like that are thankful, things that we don't expect. These are things that we can also be looking at and realize that when we expect miracles, when we expect things to change, they can change, and they can change as much as in 10 seconds.
Yes. And I have a phrase that has come up multiple times in conversations, and it's looking through life with your love lenses on. Love lenses on.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I have been ridiculed my entire life for having rose-colored glasses view of the world. And I got to a point this year where I don't care. I don't care. Guess what? It's my reality. You can have any other colored lenses you want. This is what I choose for me. I'll even lend them to you every now and again if you want. Might be able to help you create your own pair, but this is mine. Yes, and a really good point, Michaela, because your comment about what has shifted for you through the years. And it isn't necessarily, is your business making X number of dollars more than what you... I know.
It's not a secret spoiler here.
Oh,
it's
good.
Not always about the money.
Oh, no! No, really? Oh, my gosh. Now Christmas is ruined. Exactly. And you know, people ask me, well, what is it that you focus on? You know, are you helping businesses get more clients? Are you, you know, do you do with the marketing stuff? It's like, I deal with you. I help you. You already know what you need to do and all these other things. It's you haven't figured out. I got to help you with you. Isn't that exciting? Well, what does you look like? I was like, I don't know. Let's sit down and talk. What? You don't have a plan? It's like, are you like Susie down the street? Well, no. All right. Are you like John in the next country? Well, no. So, why would one checklist or one workbook or one path work for all of you? Doesn't. And that is about listening, coming back in, and listening to self. And we have had some amazing people show up and listen to our Hangouts. Not only listen, but interact with us. And yes, my hat is off to you. Well, I don't wear a hat ever, but I am humbled.
Sometimes I wear a tinfoil one.
Do you? Oh, wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
I had to give mine to Josh because he wanted to make something with the tinfoil and we ran out. So it's like, oh, well, here.
Protect against those alien vibes.
Yes. But we've had some people who are willing week after week after week to join us, even though it triggered the crap out of them every time they listen. They're so serious about working through their stuff, they keep showing up and asking questions. And I am so honored and so humbled to be a part of everybody's journey like this. And, you know, we've been doing the morning hangouts, doing the writing, and I've been doing that through my own Google Plus page. And the number of people who have commented, thanks. I just needed to know I wasn't alone.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's wonderful.
Ah,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah. So we all have a huge impact on those around us. Sometimes we're aware of it and sometimes we're not. But it doesn't mean that our impact is any less just because we're not aware of it. So the challenge that I'm putting out for everybody, myself included, is to learn to be more aware of our impact in the world. And I think that as we go through the world, as we go through this next year, we're going to be shocked, amazed, and humbled at just how much we influence the world around us. And it's an eye-opening experience, and it starts to make us more aware of our choices in every moment, not out of fear, not out of guilt, not out of shame, not out of obligation, but out of this innate feeling of, I matter. I matter. And that's an experience that we hold for you. And once you hold it for yourself, there's no stopping you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, wow. Going in deep places, Michaela. What's up with that?
All is good. But it's funny that too. That's a big one that seems to have come up a lot this year. Is I am so glad to find out. I'm not saying this necessarily for myself. I'm saying this for a lot of people because I think I have always been a kind of loner and found many different groups to be a part of. And I never really felt alone. But I've heard a lot of people say that. I'm so glad to know that I'm not alone. Or, oh, you mean I'm not alone? I've heard that a lot this year. I've probably heard that more this year than any other year. And I'm not sure if that is a result of the social media that's available to us, or maybe the awareness that people are really starting to wake up more, or maybe it's one of those things where when you start paying attention to it, it's everywhere. Yeah. Like, for example, if you say that you want to, I used to have a friend when I lived in Tokyo. I had a friend who loved pocket chips and handkerchiefs, and so he used to find them all the time. I never ever saw one, and he would find a new one every single week that somebody would have left behind, would have dropped on the ground. He'd take it home, wash it, have a beautiful new pocket chip. I did the same thing. I was always enamored with the crows in Tokyo, and I used to just watch the crows. I used to talk to the crows. What did I find every single week? I would always find a handful of crow feathers. You should have seen this big box I had full of crow feathers. Yeah, that was kind of crazy, but I hope no one thinks I'm crazy sharing that one. But the thing is, I guess it's what you put your attention to, you get more of. Attention to realizing that we are all connected and that we are all together, that you are not alone. You will indeed realize that many of us are sharing the same journey, or similar journeys, I should say.
Very good. And yeah, it's the love lenses all over again. If you see things through that particular lens, that's what you see more of. And it is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. And it's a picking yourself up and choosing how you're going to view things.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had quite a year with that. Yeah. Most of our hangouts have been about really being able to see things different, change of perspective, and that is invaluable.
If I could ask you, if you could, in maybe a phrase or even one that wraps up this year for you, what would it be? I'd like to throw that question out to everybody. To stop and and funnel it all down, bring it all down into a point of the most important thing for you, or the aha, what inspired, what drove you this year, and what you feel you're coming away from 14 with.
Great, great question.
Should I answer mine, or are you ready?
Absolutely. No, because there are three
I
phrases
want
that are
to
going
give
through
you a
my head.
chance
So
to think
please
about it, because
share your
for me to just throw that at you and have you snap something. Well, we can do that. You think, well, the first thing that comes to your mind. But I have been thinking about it for a few minutes, so it's not fair.
For me, I think it's empowered truth. Not only within my own life, being able to see in some of the places that I have been unwilling to look at as far as what is my impact in the world. And it has been shown to me time and time and time and time again. And the end result is that I now trust myself at a whole nother level. And I know that what I bring, which does not fit into any box that I've been able to find, is something that is critical in the world. And I can either choose to let my fear hold me back again this year, or I can choose to step in at full force and truly own what is my personal unique strength, which again doesn't fit into any box that I've been able to find. And that, for someone who used to play the chameleon role when I was growing up, it is a scary realization to go, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually a phoenix. Oh, shit, I don't get to stand on the wall and blend in anymore? Okay. But it's getting to the point where I can't keep my mouth shut. And that excites me and scares me. And I am so grateful for all of the things that happened in 2014. I am incredibly grateful for everybody that has made this journey with me, with us. And I am unbelievably stoked for what does 2015 hold for not only me, not only you, our viewers, and who is going to show up that I get to work with this year. And where are they going to go? That's me. You.
Awesome. For me, the word is mindfulness. Our series that we have been doing since last April, was it April we started?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has strengthened my own practice, and it has strengthened my own discipline to stay on the path, and to stay on the path of awareness and of mindfulness.
Very cool.
I love what you said about the empowering truth. Excuse me, I have to rearrange. Because as I see that for me for the coming year, the mindfulness is most important for me, and staying mindful and realizing finally after all these years that I do have a commitment to it.
And I hope you can see the picture of you.
The light coming in, yes. Oh, yeah. I know it's been very dark the last few weeks, and now I'm getting this beautiful sun and standing in the light. It's funny. I had an awesome session with a client last night, and we did a guided meditation using using light, using the sunlight. that here I am being recorded, and the timing is perfect where it's shining right in. Is that an agreement? Is that an agreement from the
Oh,
sun?
you think?
Mindfulness is a good thing.
This is one that I will run through a program that I have that will take a video and break it into JPEGs, because there is an image of you looking at the light and the light shining so nicely on your face. It is gorgeous. So you guys, as you're walking through stuff, it's not all dark, and it is so worth it on the other side. And it seems like you're lost and you're stuck when you're starting to go through your closets and you're finding boxes that you stuffed in there when you were a little kid, but it is so worth it to keep going through the box, keep going through the closets, because there does come a day where you get to close the door and put your face in the sunshine and go, wow, that was hell, and I'm through it, and I'm not afraid to go look in that closet anymore. Yes! And the weight that gets lifted is astounding. And wow, couldn't have imagined that this is where we would be when you and I started these series at the beginning of this year. Couldn't ever imagined it.
Absolutely. So I'm also thinking now about 2015, and as we move forward, and I'd like to share with everybody a little bit about what we have in store for our audience. And we haven't talked about it either. But I'm thinking that since we started in April and we went through 3 sessions, I'm guessing we are doing roughly about 1 series a quarter, aren't we?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. That's about what it works out to be. And yeah, maybe it's we might even get an extra one in there, because a whole quarter is actually 12 weeks.
Right.
Our sessions will go anywhere from 7 to 10 weeks. I think that 10 weeks seems to max it out a bit there. I would like to share with the audience in the coming year an intro to mindfulness, and an intro to dream work, to putting your dreams to use your dreams as that tool of communication that we have, that we can communicate, that open space. When we realize that meditation and dream time are both occupy that open space that we so desire, that we look for, that clarity, and as we practice getting into that open space, it's amazing how our dreams can help to transform and obstacles start melting away, and we're able to move forward.
Yes. Now, do they also call that lucid dreaming, or is that whole nother topic?
Lucid dreaming is a part of it. Dream yoga is really an ancient term that is used that has been used in various Asian cultures. I don't know if dream yoga is apt for what I plan to bring to the table, but it does tap into a lot of the dream yoga techniques. The dream yoga are the techniques. The lucid dreaming is the effect that is that state of awareness that you come into as a result of doing the practice.
Very cool. I am very much looking forward to that.
Dreaming, or even group dreaming.
Very fascinating.
Have you done any of that, Jennifer?
This is going to get...
Not that we want to talk about dreaming per se, because this is the wrap-up and everything.
Yeah, but this is a great setup for what's coming up. Yeah, I don't... I've had a lot of very interesting experiences in that space of just waking up or just going to sleep. And it's not an area that I have studied. It's an area that I have a lot of information, and that may seem like an oxymoron, but it's not. So I'm looking forward to the dream series so that I can put phrases around what I've experienced and what I know, because right now I don't know what to call it. It's just moments where I get taken somewhere else, or moments where I transcend myself and get to see something that is not my current physical reality. So what that actually is, I'm looking forward to learning.
Yes, it's a continuing to polish the mirror and polish the windows.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yeah.
can,
Yes.
very exciting. This is a personal wrap up for me. Is I did take on, as I said, a private client for meditation this past fall, and she's a very young woman. I don't think she's 20 yet, but she is very advanced in her own awareness. I guess a lot of people call them indigo children. Have you
Yes.
heard that saying, indigo
Yes.
children?
Yes.
I don't really know where that saying came from. I guess I'm going to get a lot of comments on this for what I'm about to say. To me, like everything else, is indigo. An indigo child seems to be a newly coined term for and it because it's a newly coined term. There's been a lot of talk about how this is brand new and how all these indigo children and how there's nothing new about it. This has been, we've all been we all have these tools available to us. It's just that with the advent of the web, especially the Web 2 and social media, things like this have become more mainstream and acceptable within society to talk about. More people than we realize have developed the awareness, or already have the awareness from birth and never let go of it. And I know I was one of them, but to try to talk to anybody about it, it was a no-no within the culture. So a lot of it ends up getting squashed. Anyway, this woman, very exciting because she gets it very quickly. And I wanted to start talking to her about dream yoga, but I didn't think she was ready yet. So I decided to ask her in a dream. And I remember doing a meditation one night and inviting her to do a group dream with me, and that I would give her some teaching in the group dreaming. And if she caught it, then I would introduce the dream yoga to her. Well, the very next week, she sat down. The first thing she said to me was, "Oh, I had a really strong dream about you, and you were teaching and you were laughing, and I could hear your laughter, and it was such a wonderful dream, and there were a lot of colors." And she's telling me all this stuff about the dream. And she goes, "I don't know what you were saying to me, but you were teaching," and whatever other, there were a couple other messages in there. I don't remember what they were, but she got them. And I went, "Good, yeah. You're one of the gifted kids. Yeah, let's move forward with this."
Fabulous.
It's exciting. It's very exciting when when I guess being a teacher, and when you get somebody who really gets it quickly and you can run with them, it's a lot of fun.
It is, and yes, I get that. When you find someone who is really serious, I mean, they're ready, they're done. Yes. They're tired of being stuck. They're tired of being where they're at. The pain point has gotten high enough that they are ready to move.
Yes. And that's what we are looking for, aren't we, Jennifer? We're looking.
Oh my gosh.
We're looking for the serious students, those of you out there who are ready to really get a handle on uniting your subconscious and your waking state, your spiritual material, however way you want to call it.
Exactly.
However way you want to call it, it's that bringing that awareness up and realizing that dreams are, like many of the other tools we bring to you, our dreams are a very powerful tool that has been hardwired right into the essence of our being, of all beings. Even animals dream.
Mm-hmm.
And we can help to tap into this. We can help ourselves by doing the exercises that will help you to become more aware. They'll bring you to the point of lucid dreaming. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I'm so excited. You answered a question for me that I didn't verbalize yet. And that's
I love it when that happens. You do that for me, I do that for you. I love
and
it.
now I caught myself going, well, so how do I do that? And then I just as a question came up, there the piece settled. It's like, yours is not to ask the how. Yours is just to be aware. It's like, oh, okay, okay, cool. I get to just show up and be me. And
Absolutely. That is so crucial right there, is asking the questions.
mm-hmm,
That's been a big one with a number of my clients. I say, yeah, well, as we're developing this awareness, it's okay to ask, and it doesn't matter who you're asking. You can be asking your subconscious. You might be asking, if you feel you have spirit guides or God or in your religion, whatever it is. There's something within you that understands that there is consciousness beyond what we see, something beyond the seeing, that it is unseen yet very much there and very much aware. When we start remembering to ask the questions, and those questions can be asked before you go to bed at night,
mm-hmm.
within your final meditation at night.
Yep.
But we'll get more into that in the new year, I'm sure.
Yes, and to bring this back to the chakra series and everything else that we've done up to this, by speaking the question, you are actually activating your fifth chakra. You are bringing it up from the depths of who you are, up through your root chakra, second chakra, third chakra, fourth chakra, heart, fifth chakra, speaking the question out. And then it is allowing the answer to be formulated and brought back to you, back down through the seventh chakra, sixth chakra, down into your awareness, so that you can integrate the answer with your question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amen.
Oh my goodness, Michaela, our time is almost up, and I just want to leave our viewers with a couple of things. And I have started the morning writing, and it's going to continue every morning in December. It may continue into 2015. I haven't decided yet. I know that it's become a critically important part for me, which I was not prepared for. I was not expecting it to have such an incredible impact on my writing, but it's been astounding, and I am continuing it for the entire
Great.
month.
I love it. I love it. I can't make it there every day because it's mid-morning for me, but it's a lot of fun, Jennifer. It's good.
Oh, I'm really glad.
In.
Say again?
A lot of aha moments every time I tune in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's continuing, and I would love to invite our watchers, our viewers, those that are listening in, to join it, to be a part of getting outside of yourself, realizing that you're not alone, realizing that these tools are for anybody and everybody, and you're not the only one doing them. And the more people that we get involved with this, even if we're not connected through the Hangout, even if you watch it later, or you don't even watch it at all, but you just agree to do the writing, it strengthens all of our connections, which is amazing. Get into the habit of writing, whether it be doodles or colors or drawing and pictures or words or whatever it is that you do as a creative outlet. Give yourself permission to let it out, because there is so much information longing to come in to merge with your inner knowing, to take you the next steps, just waiting for you to let out some of the stuff that's stuck in there.
Yes.
So getting into some sort of a habit of letting it out.
And
Getting,
I want to add, don't give up. Really, just don't give up. It's like, it's like learning to swim. If you constantly hang on to the side and just kick and go, this is not doing anything for me, this is crap, I'm still not swimming, you're never going to learn it until you get in there and kick those feet every day and paddle those hands every day.
mm-hmm. Let go of the side. You're not going to drown.
Yep.
Just let go.
Get back in the pool.
Yep, exactly, and always keep swimming.
Yeah.
So it's the writing. Find some way. We have given you many, many different tools on ways to meditate. And it doesn't have to be sitting focusing on nothingness. You can create a walking meditation, which is simply allowing your mind to focus on the steps that you're taking. You can create a breathing meditation where you're focusing on your breathing, but it's all about allowing yourself to slow down, bringing everything into center, and allowing your mind to process focused on something. And that seems like an oxymoron, but it really isn't. And more than anything else, it's a discipline. It's a practice. It's allowing yourself the space to say, you know what, I'm worth shutting off the rest of the world for 5 minutes. And allowing yourself to come back. So we've talked about this all year.
Yep. Yep.
Writing, meditation. And it really is that basic. That is a cornerstone of everything that we do from that point on.
Absolutely.
From there you get the mindfulness.
Absolutely, yes. And we will be back with more mindfulness the first week in the year.
Yes. As I'm going to step in here and say, as soon as we have it finalized, or at least fleshed out so it looks like a Jell-O mold, we'll post it and make sure everybody is aware of when we start and what the topic is and how they can get involved. And just from my heart to yours, I wish everybody a most blessed holiday season, whatever that looks like to you. And I just
want to make one comment. I don't know about we've been going back and forth with these sessions, and we have 3 sessions. So please, I don't know how long these videos are on YouTube are going to be available. I know at the very least we're taking down the precepts of creativity at the end of the year. So if that's something that's important to you, go in there now and look at them and listen to them. Perhaps that's happening with the others.
Yes, great. Thank you for bringing that up because I had totally forgotten about it. But yes, the Chakra Basics courses are going to be taken off at the end of the year. So
if we've done for the year, or at least the series will be going behind the membership.
Yep. And thank you for bringing that up because totally went out my head. But yes, everything that we have done for the year for 2014 will be, the hatches will be battened down at the end of 2014, and it will be put into a membership site area where you actually have to sign up to get access to. So yes, and I just wish everybody a great, safe holiday season, and remember just how amazing you all are.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's beautiful. A great big aloha to everybody, and stay safe during the season, and hope everything just keeps blossoming for you.
Yes.
And we'll see you in the new year.
Excellent. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Aloha. Namaste.